Okay. It has been a while, but I'm back in the driver's seat. Unfortunately, am I going the wrong way? I think I am, yeah. Unfortunately, the old save got lost. I think like an update was released to the game, or I downloaded some more DLC and it made that save like no longer work. I don't know. It was, oh gosh, it was one of the two. Something happened to the game and that save no longer works. So I don't know if it was something I did or if it was just a natural evolution of the game, but either way, this is a different save where I've put a lot more time in, and I have my own truck. So this is a truck owned by me. You can tell because I'm driving it without a trailer, and I'm going to pick up the freight that I will be hauling. I'm in Brussels, and we're going somewhere in Germany. I don't actually remember. Let's see. So it was this one. Leipzig, Deutschland. Okay, let's do it. Take job. So we have to go get the trailer, which is right over here. This will be fun to navigate with the trailer, rather. Okay, let's pick this up. This is always interesting, trying to get it lined up. This is something you don't have to deal with when you don't own your own truck, but when you do, you gotta do this. Easy. Oh, look at that. That was beautiful. Alright, let's get out of here. 11 hours and 51 minutes to our destination. I am a little tired. I'm good on gas though. I'll have to sleep before too long. But for the immediate future, I am good to go. So yeah, Half-Life is done, or rather, Black Mesa, but tomato tomato. I mean, it's the same game at the end of the day, except for that last portion. That was crazy. That was nothing like what Zen is like in the original game. Like night and day. Like it's not even recognizable. Like most of Half-Life, you could compare to Black Mesa and say, oh yeah, I could see how this is an older version of this. But the Zen portion is like, it's not even similar. The only thing similar about it is, you know, you fight the same enemy types and you're in an alien landscape. Everything else is different. The GPS is saying that I need to be in the left lane, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, unless this lane is an exit only. But, oh, it is an exit only. Okay, well, I need to try and beat this car off the line so I can get in the left lane. As soon as it turns yellow, I just need to... Okay, there was no yellow. The car's beat me. Come on, for it. Oh, I'm beating it. Look at that. I don't know why that car stopped, but I'll take it. I didn't even have my blinker on, so he had no idea that I needed to get over. I'm not going to complain, though. What was I saying? I don't even remember. But regardless of... oh, goodness. Came in a little hot there. Regardless of how different Zen is, I do think it is an improvement on the original. I think for the most part, the people who made Black Mesa. They just sort of looked at the original game and said, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they just sort of took the original, what was in the game, and then made it look modern, you know, just modernized it. Whereas when they looked at Zen, they said, okay, it is broke, so let's try and fix it. And it's not perfect. I still think that even in Black Mesa, Zen is the weakest part of the game compared to, like, if you take all of it into context with each other. I think Zen is the weakest portion. But I don't think Black Mesa's Zen is as weak compared to the rest of its game as the original Zen is compared to the rest of that game. That was a really bad way to word that. I'm trying to say that, like, Half-Life's a great game, and then you get to that Zen, and it seems really weak in comparison to the rest of the game. And then you play Black Mesa, the whole game is great, then you get to Zen, and it still seems weak compared to the rest, but not as weak as it used to. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's an improvement, but it's still not. It's still the worst part of the game. I don't want to say worst part because that makes it sound like it's bad. It's not bad, it's just that the rest of the game is so good that it's weak by comparison. I think a lot of the criticisms that the original Zen got still hold up. People said that it was too long, too difficult, and too boring. I didn't run into many difficulty problems. I thought I was going to towards the end, but during the later portions of that game, you know, like the last hour before you get to the final boss, like with the elevator and all those conveyor belts and stuff, I mean, the game nudges you through pretty strongly. Like, it gives you health and armor, like, just readily, just gives it to you. And those green crystals that charge up the, what's it called, gluon gun, whatever that one was that shoots that blue laser and does like a ton of damage. I mean, those crystals just charge it up, so you can literally just unleash with that thing without any consequence, because usually ammo for that gun is like super far and few and far between, which is why I didn't use it at all during the main portion of the game, because I knew that I would need it later on when things got tough. But when I actually needed it, it was giving me ammo for it. So whatever, it's not like I'm complaining for free ammo. So it wasn't too difficult, I don't think. I do think it was too long. Well, I don't know. Do I think it was too long? I think it was... I'm trying to think how to phrase this. I think it was longer than it should have been, but I don't think its length was inherently bad. I think if it was a little shorter, it would have been better, but I don't think the length is bad how it is. I think it's fine. I would have liked to see it a little shorter, but it's fine, you know. It does start to overstay its welcome, which is the problem, I thought, especially towards the end. It just sort of seemed to like drag on, and all the puzzles with the cords and plugs and the outlets and trying to figure out how to get stuff plugged in the right way and to open doors and press buttons and stuff. That stuff is just not that engaging for me, at least. So I could have done without as much of that, maybe a little bit here and there, but it was pretty prevalent in Zen. And I know why they did it, because there was nothing like that in the original Zen. So they were trying to make it more engaging and more interesting, because people did criticize the original for being boring. So add more stuff to do. It's got to be less boring, right? Well, no, because it was boring in a different way. The original was boring because there was just like nothing going on. I think the one in Black Mesa is boring because there is stuff going on, but the stuff that's going on is just not engaging or not exciting. So, that criticism definitely still applies, it being boring, and also it being too long. I don't think the length is as much of a factor, just because it is better. If the original Zen was as long as that Zen, that would be way too long. But it is more engaging than the original, so it deserves to be a little longer. I just think it goes on a little bit too long. So, I'm throwing all these criticisms. Can I not talk? I'm throwing all these criticisms around. It makes it sound like I really hate the game, or Zen. I really hate the Zen portion of that game. Where that's not the case at all. I enjoyed it very much, but the rest of the game was so strong. That's the thing, is that the game holds itself to a high bar. So by the time you finally get to that point, you're used to the quality that the rest of the game had, and it takes a couple steps down. Not many, it's not a bad portion. It's just weak. So, but I never felt like it was a chore to play through. I never felt, like, when's this going to end already? I was interested to see what was around each turn, or, what have you. So, I thought overall they did a great job with it, and there aren't many things that I would change. A few things here and there. Trim out some of the fat, make it a little shorter, remove a few of those puzzles, and just sort of, as GLaDOS said, look at things objectively, pick out what you don't need, and trim out the fat. So that's what I think should have been done to Zen, but I think the developers just sort of got caught up in their vision for what Zen should be like. And it's not a bad vision by any means. I just think it's a bit much. It's a bit much. I think they were maybe a bit too confident in their vision, because their vision is good, but it's not good to the point where it deserves to be as long as it is. It deserves to be longer than the original, but not that long. I think if it was shorter by an hour or so, I think that would have been good. I'm just thinking here. The whole Zen portion is made up of 4 chapters, if I'm counting them right. The first one, Zen, which is when you first get there. Then Gonarch's Lair, which is the giant head crab testicle monster. And then Interloper. And then what's the next one? Oh, the Nihilith. That's the boss battle. So yeah, 4. I timed it. Just the Interloper section. Just with the Interloper section. 1 chapter was 2 hours long. That's longer than some whole games. And that's just 1 chapter of 1 portion of a game. And there were 3 other chapters. So I think the whole thing should have been reduced by about an hour. And, what is going on here? I don't think I'm supposed to be on this road. But, whatever. But yeah, it should have been trimmed down by about an hour. Interloper was a bit too long. 2 hours for 1 chapter, that's kind of ridiculous. But other than that, I don't really have any complaints. The puzzles were a bit lame, and it was too long. That's it. I feel like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, because I am, but that's really how I feel about it. Overall, I love the experience. Oh, the boss battle was fantastic. They really did a great job revamping the original, which was also good. I think most people would say that the boss battle in the original game is the strongest part of the Zen portion. And that held true, I think, in Black Mesa's Zen. I actually really enjoyed the whole last, I'd say the last 30 to 45 minutes of the game, like the boss battle, and then that whole elevator section where it just went up and up and up. That was actually really fun. I think that was a good portion of the game. That was a good idea that they had for that. Using the glue-on gun to destroy those plates in order to make the generators turn off so that the flying aliens could be damaged. That was kind of strange. Like, what are these plates? Why are they spinning like this? Why does destroying them make this thing stop working? I guess it's one of those things you're just not supposed to question, destroy this so you can do that. But it took so long. If it took a minute or two to do that, I wouldn't have even thought about it. But the whole section was going on for so long that it gave me time to think about what I was actually doing. And I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't even make sense. So, I don't know. There's that. But yeah, other than that, as for what is going to be next, I don't know. There are several games that I would like to play, but oh gosh, I hit the wall, but we're good. There were several games that I would like to play, but I can't for one reason or another. Oh, my vision's going dark. I need to find a place to sleep, ASAP. Let me look at the map. Is there a place to sleep coming up? Not really. This one, but that's kind of far away. And I have to get off the highway. Well, that's my only option, really. There we go. Okay. Well, hopefully I can make it there before I freaking pass out. But yeah, there are some games that I just can't play for one reason or another. One reason is, there's a bunch of games that I want to play on one of my consoles that I have, but I have no way to record them because I don't have a capture card. So that's out until I get one of those. I probably will at some point, but I don't know when that'll be. So that limits the list. And then there are some that on PC that I would like to play, but I don't have them. And so of the games that I have on PC and want to play, it's not a super long list. So I don't know, I'll figure something out. Oh goodness, got some indigestion or something. Oh gosh, I cooked a hamburger helper, or no, it wasn't hamburger helper, it was a Velveeta skillet meal where you crumble up the ground beef and you mix it in with the stuff that comes in the box, pasta and seasoning, cheese and sauce and whatnot. So I made that for dinner, and it was a little bit heavy, so it left some residue in my esophagus. That happens sometimes when I eat really thick mac and cheese. I'll take a big bite of it, chew and swallow, and then it just feels like there is a thick ball of mud in the middle of my esophagus. It feels like there's just a lump in my chest. And it's just preventing me from breathing. Not preventing me from breathing, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just very uncomfortable. And there's only some things that it happens with. Mac and cheese is one of them. But not all mac and cheese. And not all mac and cheese all the time. Some mac and cheese, some of the time. Mac and cheese that's really dry. And when I say dry, I don't mean it doesn't have cheese on it. It has cheese on it, but the cheese is very viscous and thick. It's not like a very liquidy cheese. That's what does it. When the cheese is real runny, it's fine. But when you have that cheese that's like super thick, that is where I start to run into problems. So I'm getting that kind of feeling from what I ate tonight, although it's not quite as bad, thankfully. But yeah, it was making it a little bit hard to talk, but we'll make it through. I've actually played a good bit on... Yeah, I know I'm getting tired. I'm trying to get to a bed. I've actually played a good bit on this save file on this game. I play this game a lot when I listen to music or listen to podcasts, especially. I really like podcasts. I've been getting more into them lately. They're just so like, where am I supposed to park in order to sleep here? Oh dear, this is concerning. Where am I supposed to park? Let me see. Let me drive through here. And try not to get the trailer caught. Oh, okay, I did, but it was fine. Am I gonna have to pull out of this place? I am. Oh, that sucks. Okay. Just disregard the trailer. I'm tired. I think it's just right in here. Yeah, it is. Okay, great. Oh, thank goodness. That was close. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, podcasts. Podcasts are great. I've thought about actually creating a podcast. However, the problems with doing so are twofold. Number one, I don't know what I would do with them. Like, how do you like publish a podcast? You know, like, there are podcasts on iTunes, Apple Music? I have no idea. I don't use Apple Music. But, I don't use anything Apple. I just know that there are podcasts on iTunes just because I know that they're there, but Apple Music, I have no idea. I'm not familiar with the world of Apple Music, thankfully, but yeah, I'm anti-Apple. But anyway, I know that there are podcasts on iTunes, probably Apple Music if I had to guess, Spotify, places like that. But how do you, like, I don't know how to put things on a service like that, you know? Like, you can't just go on to Spotify and click a button that says upload like you can on YouTube, you know? So, like, how do you, if you did have a podcast, how would you get it on a website like Spotify? Like, I don't know how that stuff works. So I might need to look into that. And then the second problem is, what was the second problem? Oh, just the logistics of doing it with someone else who, you know, I may or may not can trust with actually handling things in a competent way. And I don't mean that to sound like, you know, everyone's stupid but me, but like, obviously, you know, I couldn't do everything in person. So if I did have a podcast, the people that I would be recording it with, the people I'd be talking to, would be in a different location. And number one, I don't know a way to record a call that I'd be having with another person. Like, I assume I would talk to them over Skype or Discord or something similar something similar to that. But then how do I record the call as it's happening? One idea that I had is I record my voice locally using Audacity, and then I have them do the same thing while we're also having a call on Skype or Discord or what have you. So that way, we're having the call, and our voices are being recorded on our ends. So then we would just have to consolidate the voice clips and put them together, and it would effectively recreate both sides of the call in like a fluid, one audio track type deal. The problem with that is, none of my friends are really technologically literate. I don't mean to say that in a bad way, but they're just not. Some people know things about certain topics, and other people don't. There's plenty that I don't know about, but computers is one thing that I have an above average level of knowledge about. So I don't want to put the entire health. Is that the right word? I don't want to jeopardize one half of an entire podcast, however long it may be, by the other person fouling something up and losing their half. And it's not that recording your voice on Audacity and then sending someone the audio file is that difficult, but it's something to where it would, I don't know, like maybe I'm just crappy at explaining things, but I was about to say it would be difficult to explain to someone who has no idea how to do something like that, but I don't know if that's if that's necessarily true, because it's not a difficult thing to do. So if it's not difficult to do, it shouldn't be difficult to explain to someone how to do it. So, but I feel like I would have difficulty explaining to someone how to do it. Just, I don't know, maybe I just am not good at explaining things. Maybe it would be easy to explain. I don't know. So, but that's just one idea of how to record it. I'm sure there are other ways, but I just don't know. I don't know of them. But I have pitched this idea to a couple of my friends, and oh crap. Well, I've been speeding like the whole time, and I just now got a ticket for it, so I can't complain too much. But anyway, I've pitched the idea of a podcast to a few of my friends, and they've all concurred that it would be fun and a good idea. Just getting the logistics together. Yeah, I don't know if it'll ever actually happen, but if it does, that'll be great, but we'll see. I'm not that great at long form verbal conversation, as you can probably tell, but I feel like if I had another person present, it would be a lot easier, because I wouldn't have to talk the entire time. I have listened to podcasts in the past where it is just one person, and that is very impressive to me. I like to just be able to sit down, start recording, and just talk about things for, an hour or more. Sometimes podcasts want to run a long time, 2 hours, 3 hours plus. Like, that's a long time. Like, 3 hours is long for a movie. And, that's just an above average podcast. They can go much longer than that. So, to just sit down alone without talking to anyone and just record yourself talking for 2+ hours and stay cohesive in your thoughts. I just got another freaking ticket. Oh my goodness. But to just stay coherent in what you're talking about and keep your thoughts together is it really is a skill, and it's not a skill that I possess. Now, generally speaking, the way that skills work is that they are improved through practice. However, some things I feel like there is just some level of base skill that some people have with certain things. So, sure, I could probably get better at doing that. But number one, that would be way less fun to record a podcast by myself. Like, that would be so boring. And I would have to take the time to actually get good at it, like talking for that long without just, I don't even know. So I guess doing things in a podcast format would be easier than just talking just to fill space, because like if I were to have a podcast just on my, like, by myself, I would have a list of things pre-made before I started recording, like a list of things that I would want to talk about. So it would sort of keep me on track, and then I could sort of like prepare in my head how I want to approach certain topics and what things I want to get across based on that list, and it would remind me what I'm talking about. Whereas, you know, if I just sat down and started recording and started talking, who knows, it would just not end well. That would probably be a good thing to do if you were making a podcast with multiple people as well. It would be nice to have a just a sort of list or a guide to sort of point the conversation in a particular direction, or not necessarily point it in a particular direction, but just sort of keep it on track. Well, no, not keep it on track either. That's because when conversations go to unexpected places, that's usually a good thing. What am I trying to say? Just to sort of keep my mind is grasping for words and it's not finding them. To sort of I don't know, like I don't have a good way to phrase it. I know there is a good way, but I just can't. My brain just cannot fathom it right now. I must just be too tired. Just to sort of keep a handle on things, I guess. You know, because I'm trying to think, like, I guess if it was just two people talking, just having like a normal conversation, well, let's be honest, most conversations that most people have are not interesting. And if a conversation isn't interesting, no one will want to listen to it. So if you just had two or more people just talking without any sort of predetermined plan, I think it wouldn't be a very interesting conversation. It would be a varied conversation, probably, but it wouldn't be particularly interesting. I feel like my words are so dull right now. Like, I like to think that usually I try to speak in a manner that is sharp and precise, but I feel like I'm just speaking, it's like word salad, it's just bleh. I can't get the words arranged in my head in any sort of cohesive manner that makes sense once they come out. Well, they make sense, they don't sound good and they don't feel good to say. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy. That's very possible. That is very possible. Man, what am I even talking about? I'm just rambling at this point. 1 hour 46 minutes until we get to our destination. I don't even remember what it was called. It was is it on this sign? Yeah, Leipzig. Oh, it's near Nuremberg. Is Nuremberg, like Nuremberg, the same as Nuremberg? Because there's the such thing from World War II called the Nuremberg trials, or trial singular, or maybe it was trials, which is where all the Nazi war criminals were tried. Not all of them, but the ones that they could round up. The ones that didn't go to Argentina. But then there's also Nürburgring, because there's the Nürburgring, the racetrack. The Nürburgring. Yeah, that's what it is. It's not the Nurembergring. Or is it? Is it the Nürburgring? Nurembergring? No, it is Nürburgring. Yeah, it is, because I can hear James May's voice in my head when he says, "Sending a car round the Nürburgring spoils it. It's as simple as that." So yeah, Nürburgring. So those must be two different places, because otherwise it would be called the Nürburgring. I know they're both in Germany. You are running low on fuel. Well, I think I have enough to make it. Let me just... Why does it say 4 hours to my destination? Did I pass an exit I was supposed to get off on? I better freaking not have. No, I didn't. Unless I was supposed to get off here and go that way. Yeah, looks like I probably was. Is there a way I could cross? Oh, was I just not paying attention and just blasted right through this intersection? Interchange, rather. Oh, that sucks. Is there any way I can cross? Let me check. No, there's a heavy median. Well, it's possible that there will be a break in the median, so I'm gonna look out for that. How did I just not notice that I completely missed my turn? Like, how dumb can I be? Well, I guess I'll stop for gas here while I'm going by it. I guess I could... Oh, wait, there's a break in the median. Oh, no, there's not. I saw the grass stop and got excited. Okay, let me get gas and then see if I can figure out a way to get to the other side of that road. I might just have to drive backwards on the road, which I'm not too proud to do that. I'll do that if I have to. Alright, let's just fill up. What are we looking at? 662 euros. That is 4 numbers off of the graphics card I used to have. I used to have a GTX 660. Not TI, just 660. It was a piece of crap. I mean, it did its job for the time, I guess. I was able to play like Battlefield 3 at medium settings, which, I mean, I guess was fine. Alright, you know what? I think I am just going to drive backwards on this. But then the question remains, how do I, if I drive backwards on this road, which I am going to do, how do I get off at the interchange to go the way that I need to go? I guess we'll see. Wrong way violation. It's only 100 euros, so... Is it 100 euros or 100 euro? Because I've heard it said both ways. Maybe there's no right or wrong on that. The real question is, how frequently is it going to give me that penalty of 100 euros? That remains to be seen. Let's see, where's this interchange? This is it up here. I can't believe it. Okay, so there it goes again. I can't believe I just missed the turn. Well, I can believe it, but I'm disappointed. Where is this interchange? Dang, I missed it a long way. Hopefully there's another break in the median. I say another break in the median, like there was one to begin with. Hopefully there is a break in the median so I can get through before the interchange comes up. If there's not, then I'll just have to go through the interchange backwards. If I get to my destination at this point, it'll be a miracle. So according to the GPS, I need to veer off to the right. However, I can't do that because of the median. So let me see. I need to get on... Let me look at the map again. Okay, so I need to get on this and go the wrong way down this road. Okay, noted. So I need to get on the second flower. Oh wait, do I need to be in there? Oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong place again. Here's a question. Can I make this turn? If I can, then all my problems are solved. Let's see if that's even possible. Oh goodness. Oh, you know what? I think I might have done it. I did do it. Oh, thank Lord. Okay, so I'm in this lane now. Oh, and the GPS has reset. Crisis averted. Well, not really, because there still was a crisis. I just solved it. I think crisis averted only applies if you avoid a crisis. I had one, but managed to resolve it, so... Crisis not averted, but crisis resolved. And I'll take that any day of the week. What was I talking about before that happened? That just like completely wrecked my train of thought. I don't even remember. I'm zooming down this freaking loop-de-loop. Alright. Okay, we're going the right way now. Finally. I've been driving backwards, it seems like, for like the past 10 minutes. Man, what was I talking about? I have no idea. Well, whatever. An hour and 16 minutes to our destination. I'm trying to think now because that's like... It's actually bothering me that I can't remember what it was. Because I know I was talking about something. And then I noticed that it said 4 hours instead of... Oh no, you know what it was? It's because it said that I needed gas. And then once I saw that I needed gas, I went to look on the map to see where the nearest gas station was, and it said 4 hours. That's what distracted me. What was I talking about, though? Yeah, I don't know. Oh well, I mean, if I can't remember, it must not have been anything that important. I never say anything important anyway, so... Whatever. Whatever. Okay, I need to get in this lane. Speeding violation, yeah, just tack it on, bruh. I probably got $1,000 worth of wrong way violations. Euros, not dollars. I wish there was a flick off button. I'd flick that cop off. Is that against the law? Like, is it illegal to give a cop the middle finger? I don't actually know. I'm trying to think of what that would even be called as a crime. Like, obviously that's not assault. That's not threatening, because it wouldn't be threatening a police officer, because that implies like a promise of physical violence, right? Or I guess a threat doesn't have to be physical, because you could threaten to evict someone, which is, you know, like if you were their landlord or whatever. Like, if you don't do this, then I'll put you out on the street. Like, that's a threat, and it's not physical. But I mean, a middle finger isn't a threat, regardless of if it's physical or not. Just a gesture is not a threat. I feel like the police probably could do something if you flick them off, but I'm not sure what that would even be called. Maybe taunting a police officer? Is that a thing? I don't know, I just made that up in my head. It sounds real. Oh my gosh, why is this freaking guy going the same place I'm going? I'm gonna drive on the wrong side of the road so I can pass him. Although he's kind of zooming. Dang, I can't even catch up. What kind of truck is that? Oh no, he's slowing down now. Let me look what kind of truck he has. It is... Is that a Scania? I'll look in the rear view. It is a Scania. Okay, well we finally made it to our frickin' destination. We got this tractor, or digger, whatever you want to call it, from Brussels to Leipzig. Let's play it safe. Proceed to the unloading area. In you go. Good. Oh lord. €23,000. Oh, and I leveled up too. Nice. Might as well get that one. Alright. Great.